it up at the half in Charlottesville, the 3rd-seeded Virginia Cavaliers, and the 6th-seed, the Louisville Cardinals. And what's been a good one so far, the only matchup tied right now in the different quarterfinals at the half. Patty Foss, Jack Benjamin back with you. And Patty, we talked coming in, Amina Akic, how good she is in the midfield. She serves the goal to Sarah Hernandez. Louisville strikes early.
Well, certainly Amina Akic, if you give her any sort of space, she'll make you pay. And Virginia found that lesson out early. She serves a wonderful ball in here. And Sarah Hernandez finding some space in the Virginia 6-yard box. A textbook header there from this big center back to put Louisville up 1-0.
Second goal of the season for Hernandez put Louisville up, but Virginia answered a little while afterward. We'll take a look at how they did it coming back after this. Tied up at the half in Charlottesville, Virginia and Louisville in the ACC quarterfinals. Knotted up at the half in Charlottesville, the ACC quarterfinal round. It's Louisville and Virginia tied at 1. And once again with Patty Foss, Jack Benjamin with you. Virginia, Patty, creating a lot of quality opportunities in that first half. Didn't find anything early, but eventually their patience paid off. Rebecca Jarrett feeding Alexis Spanstra.
Well, we talked early on about the attacking prowess of the junior Megan McCool. We saw it early on, getting in behind that Louisville back line. And then here from Lizzie Saraki on the feed. Not able to find that goal-scoring knack in the first half, but in a lot of really good spots for Virginia. But Rebecca Jarrett here doing so well on individual basis, running at that Louisville back line here. She finds Alexis Spanstra and a really composed finish from the freshman to knot this game up at 1.
7th goal of the season to answer Louisville's early 10th-minute goal. Virginia and Louisville knotted up at 1 at the half in the ACC quarterfinals.
Try Red Robin's new Haystack Tavern Double, stacked with crispy onion straws and our campfire mayo. One of our mouth-watering burgers, starting at just $6.99 anytime, and always served with free bottomless steak fries.
Red Robin, yum.
I'm Adam, and I make robots. The new Surface Pro can handle all of my programs. I can paint, I can mold, I can code. I can take an idea from a sketch and turn it into a real product in one device. It's pretty amazing.
15 schools, all on one network. A new place to call home. ACC Network coming August 2019. As we welcome you back to Charlottesville, tied at the half between Louisville and Virginia, the 6th seed and the 3rd seed. And Patty, we look at those first half numbers. A little bit more offense than their first time around in October, but still a lot of defense on display as well.
Well, certainly a very organized Louisville Cardinals team, making it tough for Virginia in the attack coming at. One stat you won't see on there, time of possession, Virginia doing a little bit more with the ball there in the first half. Certainly Karen Ferguson days, as we go into the second half, she'll want her Louisville team finding more of the ball in possession and see if they can go at Virginia a bit more.
A 5-2 shots advantage for a Virginia team that we mentioned came in 4th nationally in the scoring per game. Look at some of those Louisville fans braving the weather. Chilly one today here on a Sunday in Charlottesville. So glad all of you can be with us here on ACC Network Extra. Second half ready to get underway. Winner to the ACC semis on Friday in Cary, North Carolina to face either Florida State or Duke. Louisville scoring in the 10th minute with Sarah Hernandez. Virginia answering a few minutes later with Alexis Spanstra. Lizzie Saraki will toss it in. And Louisville looking for a streaking Carbon. And her cross sails over the netting. Patty, we asked the question how each team would respond to giving up an early goal, and both definitely seemed to settle in the later stages of that first half.
Well, certainly both settled in as the time ticked down in the first half, but for Louisville, so important that they can get going here early in the second half, see if they can find that goal to unlock this Virginia back line and possibly spring some of their wingers a little bit more here in the second half. We saw early there, Carbon getting down that right flank. Can she be more effective here in the second 45?
Can see Alexis Spanstra down in some pain, and Bill Parente will jog out and attend to her, the Virginia trainer. Spanstra, of course, the goal scorer for Virginia in the 14th minute. Freshman from Brighton, Michigan, and has just been terrific in this Virginia attack, Patty, all season long.
Well, and she's gotten better as the season's moved on. We get a look here. Looks like she just comes together there with Callie McKinney in the midfield and grasping that maybe a little bit of a bloody nose, but the freshman Electra Spanstra all season for Steve Swanson been so quality there on the left side, running at back lines, and really he'll tell you she's grown up as the season's come along, and she's playing some of her best soccer here as we move into the postseason.
So she's trying to get that bleeding stopped pretty quick. In the meantime, Alyssa Gorzak will check in for Virginia and did some good things, Patty, in that opening half. Did Gorzak, came on and gave Virginia a spark as well as Spanstra walks off. This is part of what's made Virginia so successful this year, the depth that they have. So we'll see how long Steve Swanson has to keep Spanstra sideline. Hopefully she can get the bleeding stopped soon. And Patty, we talked about both teams and trying to adjust here in the second half. Obviously, we're right where we started in a tie game, but for Louisville, what do they need to do, especially early in this second half?
Well, we said the key to the game for Louisville early was to dictate the pace, to find the ball in possession, and to make Virginia play at your pace. In the first half, they weren't really able to do that, and they expended a lot of energy in defending, especially these Virginia wingers early on.
Rebecca Jarrett earns, actually they're going to say off of Rebecca Jarrett. Some good defense there from Gabby Vincent, and on the flip side, Patty, for Virginia, scored that goal in the 14th minute. What do they need to do here early to try to gain some momentum back?
Well, and we said if you're Virginia, you have to be decisive in possession. We saw that early through Rebecca Jarrett in runs like the one we just saw a moment ago. She did so well getting down the wing, cutting balls back, and finding those danger zones for these Cavaliers, especially on that connection with Spanstra for the goal.
Headed back to Cazelis. Wondered how either keeper would react to allowing an early goal, and for Cazelis has been very sharp since those early stages. Couple of terrific saves. Redshirt sophomore from Wadsworth, Ohio. Rivers and Carbon playing together right now, and Morse up to the task defensively. So interesting, Patty, they get two of their more physical forwards out there at once in terms of Louisville, and see if maybe they can create something early in this half. McLernan sends it down. Headed away by Neve Nelson. And Taylor Kerwin draws a foul. Free kick for Louisville. The Cardinals team that nearly all their ACC losses coming by a goal, playing a lot of tight games, and with a young group just trying to figure out a way to get a huge win here on the road in the quarterfinal rounds. A throw in here finds Carbon. Outswinging ball headed toward Torres, and gave it away. Ferraro looking for Rivers. Defended well by Morse. And now Taryn Torres. Patty, she can be creative, Taryn Torres, but haven't seen her with the ball a ton in this early stages of this game.
Well, that's right. Taryn Torres so crafty in the midfield for Virginia, but we didn't see her on the ball, or really even around the goal for Virginia in that first half. If Steve Swanson can get her more involved, look for her to find those slips that are so dangerous for this Virginia attack. As Cazelis places it down, Louisville, of course, has had a
terrific season. Karen Ferguson Day is doing a great job, as we've talked about. Their first ACC tournament appearance, and Patty really all season long, just the momentum, keeping it at, and they've been so balanced as well.
And you see them starting 9-1 on the year, but really, above all, they played some really good soccer throughout the year, and they've done a really good job, especially finding the likes of Ekich and Brooklyn Rivers, who have really been stars in the ACC this year.
Out wide, this is Jarrett. Cuts it back. Rebecca Jarrett still with room. Crowd wanted her to shoot it, and maybe should have. Taken away by Louisville.
Well, and once again, Rebecca Jarrett having her way out wide for Virginia. Running at this Louisville backline, she's caused problems all day. And as she cuts back in, really of two minds, is she going to cross? Is she going to take a shot at, and maybe one touch too many there from the freshman?
Zandy on the ball now. It's the craftiness of this Virginia midfield, and that one given away. And a throw for Westrup. In your estimation there, Patty, should Jarrett have shot it? I know it's a tough situation trying to go into the box at full speed.
Well, certainly tough for Jarrett, but as she picks her head up and doesn't see an option in the middle, why not have a go if you're Rebecca Jarrett cutting in on the left foot there?
Another one of those terrific freshmen for Steve Swanson, 6 goals this season. Zandy able to place that one down for Sutton. The pivot on this Virginia attack, and a good field reversal here to Gorzak. Gorzak against Ferraro. Tried to feed it in, and well done by McKinney to clear. Westrup. And now Jarrett again. Rebecca Jarrett clips one in, and a dangerous spot again. Virginia still on the move. And Zandy tripped up. Set piece upcoming for Virginia in a dangerous spot, Patty.
And a really good spot there for Sydney Zandy, finding the ball in and around that Louisville back line. Just in front and running at the Louisville backline. Brooklyn Rivers there, just catching her on the heel and setting up a very dangerous set piece here for Virginia.
Both Torres and Sutton behind it. Looks like it'll be Sutton. Back post and headed in. Or did the flag come up? It did. It was headed in by Westrup. Take the goal off the board. Offside called on Virginia.
And it'll be good to get a look back at this one, Jack. Another really quality ball in from Montana Sutton, finding the head of Brianna Westrup, and hard to tell from that angle, but the senior with a really good header to rise and find that one, and unlucky, just a tad offside.
Is that just a product of the run being a touch off in terms of the timing?
Well, certainly, and a good job by the Louisville back line to hold their line and not allow Virginia to drop deep into their box off the set piece.
So a goal taken off the board there. Can Virginia respond? Jarrett, Torres. Momentum carried her away a little bit. This one fed in. And off the head of McCool on the pass from Westrup. Virginia, though, Patty, really applying the pressure. Louisville continuing to sit back a bit, and they've taken advantage of a couple of dangerous chances early in this second half.
Well, I'll tell you what, early on in the second half, those first 5 minutes, Louisville looked a little bit better in the attacking half, and were able to put Virginia on their back heel. In these next 5 minutes, Virginia has been able to find the ball in and around that Louisville box and look to be knocking on the door to find that second goal.
Always a question of who will make the adjustment. The best who will win that battle at the half. And here comes Zandy for Virginia again. And it deflected. And back towards Sutton. Run into by Ekich. Another free kick upcoming here for Virginia. Yet another set piece for the Cavaliers. Sutton behind it after drawing the foul. Tied at 1 in the ACC quarterfinal. Sutton prepares. And headed away well by Hernandez, who's really had a terrific game. The goal scorer for Louisville, a couple of solid defensive plays. Now Siraki working on Ferraro. Found the foot of Torres. Siraki feeding it back in. Looking for Westrup, headed away. Virginia applying a lot of pressure. Zandy working around Carbon. Deflected out to Morse. Morse curling it. And sent over the bar by Gorzak.
And yet again, another good stretch for Virginia in and around that Louisville box. Sydney Zandy so active here in these first 10 minutes of the second half, getting deep on that end line, causing problems, forcing Brooklyn Rivers to drop deep in the back line. And you get a look back here, Zoe Morse with a quality ball in, finding the foot of Gorzak, who can't quite put that one on frame, but Virginia looking better in the attack here in the second half.
First couple shots of this second half going to Virginia now, 7-2 advantage for the match. 3-1 on goal. Still level at 1, however. Here's Westrup. And her pass deflected off the foot of Whitfield. Taken back by Nelson and now cleared out of danger. Westrup has to just head it away and she came up hobbling. Patty, in the amounts of attack that Louisville has had early in the second half, have you seen an adjustment from them offensively?
Well, you see Karen Ferguson Days electing to go with the speedy Kennedy Carbon alongside Brooklyn Rivers, looking to get a little bit more going there in the second half. And at times they've looked very dangerous running at Virginia, but still without those stretches of possession, without finding the feet of the likes of Ekich and McKinney getting it forward for Louisville, they're expending a lot of energy in trying to keep Virginia at bay defensively. So certainly they're going to look to find the ball a little bit more and see if they can control the game through the midfield a little bit better.
Torres almost recovered and taken back by Hernandez. The Louisville team, we've talked about it, 12 wins this year, 2 shy of a program record. Looking for a 5th NCAA berth under Karen Ferguson Days and taken away from Jarrett. It's well done defensively again by Gabby Vincent. Mentioned her 72nd career start today. Morse hit it off the leg of Carbon and awaiting a call here. Not sure if that ball was ever whistled out of bounds. And now they're going to call it.
And it looks like that is what the center referee, Mark Gorak, is going to go with. Ball didn't come out of bounds. Zoe Morse thinking that it had been flagged out and going to pick it up. So certainly a dangerous spot here for Ekich and Louisville.
Ekich, the terrific sophomore, preseason All-ACC, and now she defers to Rivers. Rivers asking Karen Ferguson Days to take it with the left or the right. Should go lefty here. Tied at 1. Louisville bending it. It's still loose in front and cleared away by Sutton. One of those situations for Zoe Morse where she thought there was a whistle, and of course a windy day, loud environment, can't always hear what's going on.
And you get another look here. A really dangerous ball whipped in by Brooklyn Rivers, and Virginia a little bit fortunate. Ball bounces down and Montana Sutton able to clear, but a dangerous set piece there from Louisville Cardinals.
We've seen Louisville, when they get those chances on set pieces, they've been good, creating some dangerous opportunities. Westrup couldn't clear. Recovered by McKinney in the midfield. Our 60th minute of action now here at Klockner Stadium. ACC quarterfinal, 3rd-seeded Virginia, 6th-seeded Louisville, winner to the semis on Friday against either Florida State or Duke. Louisville has never beaten Virginia, have lost all 5. And now Rebecca Jarrett, a lot of speed for the freshman. Jarrett crossing with pace and looking for McCool, it was deflected. Louisville able to recover defensively, Patty, but again, Rebecca Jarrett putting a lot of pressure on this Louisville back line.
Well, yet again, Rebecca Jarrett looking really dangerous down that right side. She isolates herself with Gabby Vincent, and the speed of Jarrett able to push towards that end line. When she picks her heads up, though, not a lot of white shirts in the box. So for Virginia, can they start to get more and more numbers, making runs in the box when they see Rebecca Jarrett isolated there on the right side?
Macy Whitsett has come on for Louisville. Freshman from San Diego. Here's Jarrett crossing. Ended away again. 3 subs on for Virginia. Adu, Kerner, and Sumter. There's Kerner feeding Jarrett. And a nice defensive effort from Nelson. A lot's been asked of this Louisville back line, Patty, and they've answered the task a lot of the times, defending against Jarrett. Of course, she's gotten free some, but doing a nice job of preventing that final run.
Well, especially in the center of defense for Coach Karen Ferguson days. Gabby Vincent and Sarah Hernandez have had a big day, and they've been able to put to bed some of those opportunities from the crosses of the likes of Jarrett and Spencer. So a really good job from that center back tandem of the Louisville Cardinals.
Of course, Vincent has been here. We've talked about how many games she's played, but a crucial part of that defense, the center of that unit. A lot of leadership in that back line. And now can the Louisville offense find an opportunity? Just 2 shots in this match, both of them coming in the first 20 minutes of the game. A deflection there off of Jarrett as Nelson was trying to clear, and it goes back to Cazelis. Louisville 12 shots in their matchup against Virginia Tech, a 1-0 loss on Thursday, and only the second time they'd lost when out shooting an opponent like that. Only 2 on the board today as Betsy Brandon, Claire Constant, and Alexa Spanstra come back in. So good to see Spanstra back out there after she took a shot to the nose. And Patty, we've seen both teams early on in the second half. Louisville with a little momentum. Virginia grabbed some back, had a near goal waved off on an offside. Interesting to see who will grab some momentum back here in this middle stages of the second half. And a feeding ball here towards Spanstra, and too far.
And a really good look there from Megan McCool, trying to thread that needle in for Spanstra. Just a little bit too much pace, and really well done there from Gabrielle Cazelis to come out and dispel that Virginia attack.
Claire Constant looking for Gorzak, and miscommunication there. Throw-in upcoming for Louisville. And Patty, you obviously played in a lot of ACC tournament games. It's like nothing else in terms of win or go home. What's the key as this clock starts to wind down to managing the emotions and staying in the moment, knowing that, hey, a goal could end the game and end our season any moment. And another takeaway here from Gorzak. Virginia on the move. McCool deflected to Spanstra. McCool tried to fire and deflected out toward Adu. Spanstra went down, and the whistle. Alexis Spanstra back in, Patty, making an impact immediately.
Well, another really good turn there from the freshman to draw that foul. Betsy Brandon will stand over this one, but to go back to your point about time ticking down here, Jack, so important these players are very conservative. They know that if they give up one mistake, it could be the difference in this game and the end of their ACC tournament run. So certainly that's a thought that's going to start to creep into each and every one of their minds as we tick down.
It's the senior Betsy Brandon to take it. Looking for Morse on that far post run, deflected out by Cazelis. And a sixth of Virginia corner will ensue. Repeatedly, Virginia has looked for Zoe Morse and nearly found her in that first half for a goal.
And a good ball in there from Brandon. Cazelis does well just to get a tip on it, but another chance coming here for Virginia.
It's Brandon again. Headed away. Adu trying a one-timer. It's Kerner. Hannah Kerner with room. Firing! And just wide. Constant was running far post, just overshot her. Another dangerous opportunity for Virginia.
And you're starting to see the effects of that wind on this game here, Jack. That corner kick from Brandon hanging up, and then Kerner here with the ball in just hangs up a little bit too much for her, unable to find a head on that back post.
Kiana Klein back in for Louisville. Rivers sits. A 10-2 shots advantage for UVA. 3-1 on goal, all even though on the scoreboard. 1-1, both goals in the first 14 minutes of this match. Louisville scored first, and then Virginia responded. Sumter. And back to Louisville. Louisville, the 6th seed coming in. Mentioned they tied for 5th in points with Clemson. Goal differential gave them number 6. Rematch here of October 4th in Louisville, a 1-0 win for Virginia. Louisville winless in 5 tries against UVA, trying to end that streak here and move on to the ACC semis on Friday. Throwing for the Cardinals. And Patty, what does Louisville have to do to generate a little more attack? We saw them putting the pressure on Virginia early in the second half, not so much here in the last few minutes.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about the amount of energy that Louisville has had to expend in keeping that Virginia attack at bay. So important as time ticks down that they're able to settle this game a bit, find the ball in the midfield, see if you can get McKinney, Lasparence, and Ekic on the ball and get a little bit more going forward. It'll be interesting to see Karen Ferguson days as time ticks on. Can she go a little bit deeper into her bench and find some fresh legs for the Cardinals?
A look there at the Louisville sideline. Trying to map out if they can get that go-ahead goal here in regulation as we approach the final 20 minutes. Of course, should we remain tied, we'll go to extra time. A couple 10-minute golden goal sessions, and after that, in a winner-take-all game, PKs. Constant battling on the sideline, and it's a Louisville throw, and here's a sub for Louisville. It's Amari Hopkins coming on, sophomore, local product from Stafford, Virginia, and a transfer from Kansas. So, Patty, they do go a little bit into the bench. Hopkins playing 18 games at Kansas as a freshman, her 8th appearance this year. Ekic tried to get there, covered up by McClernand, and might have taken a shot. Sent down toward Kerner. And now Spanstra. McClernand. Virginia ushering numbers forward. Anna Sumter looking for room. And a good thought to look for McCool, but just too much.
And a good spot there from Sumter, picking up the ball just in front of that Louisville back line, but looks for the slip from McCool, and the execution not there, but nonetheless a better spot and a good idea there from Sumter.
A couple of these balls today, Patty, on the crosses, just a couple feet or a couple inches off even. Morse had that chance on a cross in the first half, and they're just a little bit too much. Out for a Virginia throw here. The sun finally starting to peek out a bit here in Charlottesville on a Sunday that's been very cool and windy. It was around 50 at kickoff. About 10-mile-per-hour winds affecting a couple crosses here today. Here's Kerner. 2 goals in our first 14 minutes of this match. Nothing since. A takeaway by Nelson, and here comes Akic. Can be electric with the ball on her foot, but too far there trying to feed the running Whitsett. Out for a Louisville throw. Look there at Megan McCool. And Patty, the numbers this season just staggering the way she's been able to finish.
Well, not just the numbers, Jack, but you talk to Coach Steve Swanson, and you talk about he talks about the maturity of Megan McCool and how much more effective she has been here in 2018 for the Cavaliers, doing so well in and around that box and really able to beat you from a lot of different ways. So certainly a breakout junior season here from Megan McCool.
Nadej Lesperance is back on for Louisville, and McCool, of course, those 7 goals, was wreaking some havoc in that first half and has been clutch as well for this Virginia team. You saw all those game winners she's had, including the only goal in the 7th minute against Louisville in their matchup on October the 4th. A 1-0 win for Virginia. Tied at 1 right now in the ACC quarterfinal. Virginia number 11 in the nation. Trying to find a way to the semifinal round. McCool out wide for Spanstra. Spanstra weaving in. Finds the foot of Gorzak. Loose for Kerner. Kerner able to weave her way to Spanstra. Clipped in, and there's the go-ahead goal for Virginia. And who else? Patty, it's Megan McCool.
Well, McCool gets in such a good spot here, but a fantastic ball in from the freshman Electra Spanstra. We talked about how effective she's been on the wing all day long. Hannah Kerner does really well to slip Spanstra in here. Spanstra taking her time, showing that composure and finding the foot of Megan McCool, and a fantastic finish there in the 6-yard box from the junior forward.
8th goal of the season, and it gives Virginia a 2-1 lead. Just has a knack, Patty, of finishing in so many different ways.
Well, McCool able to recycle her run and just get a step there on Sarah Hernandez, finding that near post. Nothing Gabrielle Cazellas could do, and putting Virginia up 2-1 here late in this one.
So Spanstra has had a foot in either goal. 2 goals in our opening 14 minutes. Went about 60 without anything, and Virginia breaks the deadlock. 2-1 lead here in the 73rd minute. And Spanstra, Patty, we talked about it, when she gets on the wing with some room, can be dangerous. Just a really quality service, and something she's done all season long. Should mention a few subs on. Jarrett back in, replaces McCool, and Montana Sutton is on for Anna Sumter. Allison Whitfield has checked back in for Amari Hopkins. So now, Patty, Louisville down a goal. Do they change what they're doing? Is it still a little bit early before they have to press forward?
Well, maybe a tad early, but Coach Karen Ferguson Day's going to have to start to throw some more numbers forward and see if you can find that equalizer. This Virginia backline so tough to break down all year, and for Louisville, can they start to put them under pressure and see if you can find that second goal?
Rebecca Jarrett for Sutton. Virginia up a goal, looking for more. Gorzak feeding it. Jarrett got a foot to it. And got it on goal too, but Cazellas there. And this is something Virginia does well too, Patty. They'll score and then they'll keep the pressure on immediately after as well.
And more good work there from Gorzak on the left side. Finding the foot of Jarrett all day long. Those two so active, and yet again causing another chance there for Virginia.
Ivory didn't get the cleanest contact on it, but it worked out. And then Jarrett overrounded and might have lost her footing. Kerner clears. And now a throw in for Whitfield. Finds Ekic, surrounded. Morse deflected it out to Whitfield. Adu got a foot to it. Whitfield still going, and now Ekic assisted on the Louisville goal and earns a corner for the Cardinals. There's the craftiness of Amina Ekic, and Patty, a big moment here for the Cardinals to try to convert off this corner. Only their second corner of the match. It's Allison Whitfield to take it. Junior from Louisville. They go short. L'Esperance. Ferraro feeding it in. Headed away by McClernand. Whitfield again. Pressured by Kerner. And Hannah Kerner with a great defensive play to start a counter. Gorzak. And out for a Virginia throw.
And really organized defensive work there from Virginia, giving all the respect in the world to that Louisville set piece, all 11 players in the box, and certainly some good 1v1 defending here from Hannah Kerner to get Virginia out and start that break.
Kerner's role, of course, expanding with Courtney Peterson out as Ashlyn Serepka comes back on. As does Cindy Zandy. Gorzak exits. That's deflected out for a Virginia throw. A 2-1 UVA lead. Virginia the 3 seed, Louisville the 6. ACC quarterfinal round. Winner plays either Duke or Florida State Friday in Cary, North Carolina, but a lot left in this game first. And now Ekic. Hasn't gotten free a lot in this second half. Assisted on the goal in the first for the Cardinals. Morris with a nice play to let that ball from getting past her. And then deflected off of Nelson. And Zoe Morse, Patty, a player who has seen some time at the midfield, moving back to defense, and something she's played with the national team as well.
Well, certainly Zoe Morse in really good spots all day today, and a really good effort again there to stop that Louisville attack, and in a very composed way across the back line there for Virginia.
Again, part of that benefit Steve Swanson has with this specific group. A lot of players who can shift around both in the midfield and the defense. Kerner, pursued by Whitfield, finds Zandy, and then that pass just out of the reach of Jarrett. Carbon back in for Louisville. replaces Klein. And maybe, Patty, this final stretch nearing for Karen Ferguson, Days and company for Louisville, needing to find that tying score. About 11 minutes and change to play with for Louisville to try to keep their ACC tournament chances alive. Needing a goal and a whistle here. McKinney holding on to her face for a second, and free kick for Louisville. Taken by Vincent. Morris clears. And Jarrett able to run back to it. Montana Sutton has options and goes to Spanstra. Room to run for the freshman. An assist and a goal already today. Cutting it back. Spanstra looking for Sarepka. Headed away nicely by Ferraro. And again, Patty, Virginia putting a lot of pressure on with those wings. Spanstra stumbled for a moment. And now Sutton. Out wide for Kerner. Virginia leading 2-1, looking for more. And that pass intercepted. Well done defensively by Nelson. Morse doing a nice job defensively against Carbon. And out of bounds for a Louisville throw. And we've talked, Patty, about the youth of this Louisville team and how valuable it's been. Young players, ACC tournament games, see how they respond here in the final stretch.
Certainly, if you're Louisville, you're going to have to start to throw some more numbers forward and see if you can manufacture that tying goal here as we tick down under 9 minutes.
Can see there a look at some of the youth on this Louisville team and Karen Ferguson Days, what they've meant to this group. A lot of their goals coming from freshmen and sophomores.
Well, and regardless of the outcome today, certainly this Louisville team has grown by leaps and bounds throughout the year, making their first appearance in the ACC tournament, and a lot of positives to move forward into 2019 and the NCAA tournament.
A lot of time still in this match. About 8.5 to go. And a header there. It goes out for a Virginia corner. 7th corner of the matchup coming for the Cavaliers. And Taryn Torres will sub in just in time to take it. They bring McCool back in as well to load the box. Torres behind it. Virginia looking for more. Headed up in the air by Louisville. And now Whitsett. The junior streaking ahead. Trying to test Laurel Ivory and maybe a little too far out.
And that'll frustrate Karen Ferguson Days to no end. Maisie Whitsett with the ability to counter there and elects to go for the shot from 45 out. Can she do a little bit better? Run at that Virginia back line and see if you can break them down in the 2v2 opportunity.
Especially when they haven't had a whole lot of those opportunities to run and get numbers out there.
And you talk about Whitsett and the quality that she's had all year long with her 9 goals, but they're maybe showing a little bit of that freshman, immaturity on the break.
One of the more explosive athletes on this Louisville team is Ekic. Stumbles, still finds Whitsett. And now a foul here going against Sutton in Virginia, and a set piece upcoming for Louisville. And this is dangerous for Virginia. Ekich has been terrific all year. Of course, one of the best players in the ACC. Mac Herman watch list. She's behind it. See if she goes for goal and tries to knot us up. She does, and it's wide of Laurel Ivory. Well, a good chance, Patty, but a lot to ask, especially with how windy it is today and being pretty far out.
And we know how dangerous Ekich can be with that left foot, but certainly just a little bit out of her range there. It goes for a goal and doesn't really test Laurel Ivory on frame.
Rivers back on for Louisville as they try to make a final push. 2-1 Virginia lead. A go-ahead 73rd minute goal from Megan McCool. After we had our first 2 goals in this match in the first 14 minutes. Can Louisville equalize as we near 5 minutes to play? So what's the biggest thing here, Patty, that Louisville's thinking about to try to at least get that opportunity to tie this game?
Well, you can see Louisville starting to throw some more bodies forward, bringing Kerwin in, see if they can force Virginia into a little bit of a mistake here.
Ivory's clearance deflected off Rivers.
And on the flip side, if you're Coach Swanson, a little bit under 5 minutes left in this one, you're going to want to drop a little bit deeper and see if you can just see this game out. Looks like Lizzie Saraki checking back in here along that back line and see if you can put this game to bed.
Is it ever tricky as a coach in this spot where you have a goal lead to not get too complacent, not drop too deep to allow the pressure to come to you?
Now, I think with an experienced coach such as Steve Swanson, he's been in this spot enough that he knows how to see a game out. And for Virginia, adding Saraki, they'll put 5 across the back line and try to just put this one to bed and see their way to carry on Friday.
Saraki comes on for Sarepka. Laurel Ivory will send it away. Under 5 to go now in our ACC quarterfinal. 3rd-seeded Virginia on top of the 6th-seed Louisville, 2-1. Louisville's first ever appearance in the ACC tournament. Have to find that equalizer down the stretch. Throw-in from Nelson never actually went in bounds. So Louisville gives possession back to Virginia. In a scenario here where Virginia will try to start burning some clock with possession. McCool. And it deflected. McCool's header for Spanstra, and it's a good one. Spanstra working on Vincent. And the senior center back stands up to her. Whitfield. And clearing toward Morse. Virginia, though, Patty, in possession. This is what they've done well today. The passing's been precise. Just trying to hold on here and burn down some minutes. Hold on to this 2-1 lead. Torres trying to work her way in and taken back by Louisville. Sutton for Spanstra. Hannah Kerner with a burst of speed. Defended by Nelson. And out for a Virginia throw. A look there at the bottom half of the ACC women's bracket. 7 minutes to go in Durham. Florida State, Patty, hanging on to that 1-0 lead on Duke.
Well, you see that goal by Kristen McFarland still standing up down in Durham, though. 7 minutes. Duke, such a potent offense. Certainly a lot more to be played there in that one. But looking ahead, will we see a Florida State-Virginia rematch here on Friday?
A 2-0 win for Florida State last Sunday. Still time in this one. 2.5 to go. That pass out of bounds. Goal kick for Louisville, and final stretch now of this game. Can Louisville find a final quality opportunity to try to even this match? They struck first in the 10th minute. Sarah Hernandez scoring. Virginia responded about 3.5 minutes later. We stayed tied until the 73rd minute when Megan McCool broke the deadlock. And now final 2 minutes in Charlottesville. Headed by McCool, back to Cazelis. Sutton. Louisville just trying to push it forward. Rivers out jumped by Morse, and now Spanstra. Trying to feed McCool. Cut off well by Kerner. And Patty, she's played really well here today.
Well, certainly Hannah Kerner has brought a spark to this Virginia team off the bench. Normally known for how well she goes forward. She's done really well in the defensive scenarios for Steve Swanson all afternoon long and really brought a lot from her position as a reserve.
Draws the foul, and now we hit the final 60 seconds in Charlottesville as McClernand sends it down towards Spanstra, headed away by Nelson. And Spanstra will take her time on this throw. McCool trying to hold. Question is, can Louisville get it downfield in time? 35 seconds. A field reversal all the way to Torres. Louisville chasing. And taken back by Hernandez. Good pressure from Torres. Sutton feeding back toward Constant. Final 15 seconds in Charlottesville. More pressure.
And a really good performance today from Steve Swanson's crew, finding that second goal and keeping a very talented Louisville team to just that single goal in the first half. Karen Ferguson Days has to take a lot of positives out of the defensive, organized performance of her team, and sitting at 32 in the RPI, they should get into the NCAA tournament and be a force to be reckoned with here in November.
A 2-1 win for the third-seeded Virginia Cavaliers over the sixth-seeded Louisville Cardinals. A 73rd minute goal from Megan McCool holds up. And UVA moving on to the semifinal round to face either Florida State or Duke come Friday in Cary, North Carolina, as they try to seek an ACC tournament championship. That'll do it for us. For Patty Foss, I'm Jack Benjamin saying so long from Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, where third-seeded UVA knocks off sixth-seeded Louisville by a final score of 2-1. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.